Good evening. Welcome to the Armstrong School District Board of Directors Open Caucus meeting for Thursday, May 9th, 2019. Won't you please rise with me for a moment of reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. And now the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Burdell.
Here.
Ms. Bowser. Here. Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Elkin.
Here.
Dr. Lobby.
Here.
Mr. Mulroy.
Here.
Mr. Scaife.
Here.
Mr. Schaefer.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
The Board of School Directors of Armstrong School District convened an executive session on Thursday, May 9th at 6:45 p.m. in the Faculty Lounge of West Hills Intermediate School in Katanning for discussion of personnel, real estate, student confidentiality, and status of legal claims.
Thank you. We'll begin the evening with our Student Board Representative report from West Shamokin Junior Senior High School. Your representative to speak tonight.
Good evening. Good evening. According to Mrs. Dimmitt at Elderton Elementary, there was a visit from the Easter Bunny. Spring pictures were taken, and the American Girl tea was held. At Shannock, the 6th grade field trip to Rural Valley Cemetery, along with local veterans, on May 20th to place flags on graves for Memorial Day. They've been doing this activity with our veterans since 2000. Also in Mrs. Whitaker's class, this year Mrs. Whitaker decided to increase the first graders' awareness of poetry. They studied several different types of poems such as acrostic, shape poems, alliteration, descriptive poems, and sensory poems. The students had fun reading and writing these poems. On April 25th, the students got to share their poems at the Poetry Cafe. The classroom was turned into the Poetry Cafe with a small stage, microphone, black tablecloths, jazz music, and cookies. At the end of the program, the students presented their families with their poetry book, which they worked on this year. Classrooms also celebrated Earth Day with writing and making posters. 4th grade participated in the Lions Club Drug and Alcohol Poster Contest. Lily Sturgeon and Devin Bellin placed 3rd place. Madison Logan and Miranda Chrisman placed 2nd, and Bella Furman and Kendall Moore placed 1st. Kendall placed 4th in the district. Grades 3 through 6 also finished their PSSAs this week. They all received a dance on Friday, May 3rd for their hard work and effort. The school recently participated in the Penny Wars for autism awareness. The autistic support classes had a field trip at the Pittsburgh Zoo, which they loved. The band and chorus are also practicing for their spring concert, and kindergarten is preparing for their end-of-year program. All 3 schools completed PSSA, ELA, and science testing. Teachers donned motivational shirts, used mint gum, allowed their students to kick off their shoes, along with many techniques to help students do their best. 3rd graders got a guest ticket for coming to school each day for testing, and one lucky winner won a basket full of 798 items, including Legos, Army Men, Play-Doh, and Bubbles. Additionally, through parent and teacher donations, 16 gift bags were loaded with treats for a daily testing raffle. Students earned raffle tickets for working hard. At Dayton Elementary, there was an afternoon filled with egg hunts. As a school-wide reward, students in primary grades hid eggs for older students to find. Then the roles were switched and the older students hid for primary students. 3rd grade held its 5th annual egg extravaganza. There were over 800 eggs hidden. Each student found at least 21 numbered eggs. That's right, the eggs had to be found in numerical order from 1 to 21 to create a real challenge. Also, 6th grade had a Gold Pass trip to the Carnegie Museum of Natural History. Students who demonstrated responsibility, positive behavior, and excellent work habits attended. In third grade, moms will be honored at Dayton Elementary during the 4th annual Mother's Day Tea. Moms will fill the tables for an afternoon of tea, treats, and entertainment provided by 3rd grade, singing songs, and a rock and recorder performance. Field trips are also in full swing. Students will be traveling to PNC Park, Carnegie Science Center, the zoo, and the Children's Museum, just to name a few. Second grade students enjoyed a recent trip to the symphony. The Elks Lodge of Katanning presented Dayton Elementary with a buddy bench for the playground. Students learned that if they need a friend, to sit down. If you see a friend on the bench, ask them to play. The bench comes with a big rule. If you are sitting on the bench, you have to say yes to anyone who asks you to play. It's a great way to help students play with others and not by themselves. Running club began this week at Dayton Elementary under the direction of Mrs. Shoup. Students will be running after school to increase strength and endurance. The West Shamokin cross-country team will be joining the elementary students to demonstrate warm-ups, breathing techniques, and to run with students. Students in third grade have perfected their letter writing skills by writing to Pennsylvania companies. Through this yearly project, students have received responses from a wide range of PA companies and businesses including Gertrude Hawk, Dick's Sporting Goods, Crayola, Martin's Bakery, King's Family Restaurant, and Del Grosso's. Wise Potato Chips and Smuckers have also visited the classroom to provide students with a sampling of their products and a first-hand look into their companies. They also sent Flat Stanley, a character created by Jeff Brown, to a friend or family for a faraway adventure. This one has been living at my house. Since this project has been implemented, Flat Stanley has gone on tours with the Clarks, visited Google headquarters, and traveled as far as Singapore and Alaska. Band and chorus concerts will be entertaining students and parents during the month of May. There will also be an art show to showcase student artwork. Mrs. Donnelly and her students covered the walls of Dayton Elementary with creativity. I had the opportunity to speak to some elementary students. Many of them stopped to see me while I'm stocking shelves of tomatoes. I asked the students this question: how do you choose to be great? Some of their answers included be a friend, take your time, do your best, help others, being kind to others, sharing, using all strategies, don't cheat, be fair, use your words carefully, be yourself, take turns, follow rules, and tell the truth. In conclusion, it has been a privilege to report on the exciting news from our ASD elementary schools. In looking ahead to next year, I will be reporting news from West Shamokin. Please feel free to email me with any questions or suggestions or ideas that you would like to see or hear about the upcoming year. I'm in the district email under C. Eddy. As the son of a teacher and the grandson of a lifelong resident of Armstrong County, and with the potential of becoming an Armstrong County resident myself after college, I have an awareness of your dedication and commitment that strengthens our school system and builds a foundation for successful students and adults. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'll be representing West Shamokin for the last time here tonight. Under staff and parents, on the evening of April 3rd, 11th graders and their parents attended a financial aid presentation in order to prepare themselves for expectations for the coming years of college. On April 18th, students in the human anatomy classes offered at West Shamokin had the opportunity to participate in CPR training, in which these students became CPR certified by the end of the day. West Shamokin's prom was held on May 3rd at the Indiana Country Club, and there were nearly 150 students who participated. Today, West Shamokin held an Honor Roll Sunday party in order to congratulate the students that earned either Honor Roll or Distinguished Honor Roll throughout all 4 9-week terms. And it was great to see so many students participate this year and be congratulated for that. On June 7th, West Shamokin's award assemblies will be held for both junior and senior high students in order to congratulate these students on various accomplishments throughout the school year. And baccalaureate will be held on June 9th. Under band and chorus, many students participated in PMEA Region 2 District Chorus at Clarion High School on March 21st. On March 29th, select students participated in Band Fest in Oil City. West Shamokin held its spring band concert on April 11th, and on April 12th, a student and faculty recital was held in which both students and faculty participated together in singing their favorite tunes. And the spring chorus concert was held last night, May 8th. Under extracurriculars, Leo Club held its annual Easter egg hunt on April 13th. It was a great way to get the community involved, as many children from the surrounding communities came to West Shamokin in order to participate in a time of great holiday fun. Under field trips, on April 26th, Leo Club sent nearly 50 students to Beacon Lodge, which is a camp for the visually impaired. Participating students helped to clean the camp and ease the worries of the volunteer workers of the camp. On the same day, students from the school newspaper went to the Indiana Mall to participate in a school news column writers' luncheon hosted by the Indiana Gazette. Upperclassmen English classes went to Armstrong High School on April 30th to see Hamlet, and it was a great opportunity to see the text come to life on stage. The 8th grade class will be going to Gettysburg and the Flight 93 Memorial on May 17th, and physics classes will be going to Kennywood on May 21st. Here the students will examine different aspects of popular amusement park rides. And West Shamokin's senior class trip is on May 23rd and runs through the 25th. This year, students will be going to New York City. The freshman class will be going to Washington, D.C. on June 10th, and there they will learn about the various historical aspects of our great nation. Under academics, many students participated in Heritage Conference academic competitions during the week of March 11th. These teams ranged from needing to know knowledge from government to math to even family consumer sciences. A notable placement this year is our current events team, which took second place this year. Many students participated in the Armstrong County Career Fair held at Apollo High School on March 28th, and these students were able to learn about various careers and how to pursue the necessary education for these careers. West Shamokin also had a nice group of students participate in the Youngstown English Festival at Youngstown State University on April 10th. Here, students participated in a number of competitions regarding both literature and writing. And on April 15th, the driver's ed classes had speakers deliver messages on the dangers of DUIs and spoke on making wise decisions. Students in grades 7 and 8 had been working diligently to prepare for PSSA testing, which took place during the weeks of April 22nd and April 29th. West Shamokin was able to send 2 teams this year to participate in Armstrong County's Envirothon. These teams had to know various components of our ecosystems, and our teams took both first and second place in that competition. And our first place team will participate in the state competition on May 21st. AP exams began this week and will run through next week. Students have prepared all year in order to do their very best on these exams. And Keystone exams will take place during the week of May 13th, in which students have worked very hard in order to score well on this required testing. Under sports, the West Shamokin softball team held a youth softball clinic on April 13th, and West Shamokin's varsity baseball team has been going undefeated this year, and we wish them the very best when playoffs roll around. Lastly, I just wanted to truly thank each and every one of you for allowing me the opportunity to stand before you and inform you on the numerous aspects of West Shamokin. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to work with each of you and learn about the various aspects of the Armstrong School District, aspects that go far beyond what is seen by the average student. It's been and I mean this truly, it's been a true honor and privilege, and I wish each of you the best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think you got the record for the busiest student board rep report ever. That has been great. A lot of stuff. So I also want to congratulate you and thank you for being a student board representative this year. You did a great job. Just like tonight, you always presented very clear idea of what was going on out in West Shamokin area, and it was tremendous. So I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Other reports under central admin.
Now, tonight we have some very accomplished and guests here this evening who've shown some great work with music and band, of course. We want to recognize them and give them the honor that they truly deserve for their outstanding achievement.
To have one student named All-State in any extracurricular sport or activity, I think, is a significant accomplishment for our programs, for our teachers, for the students. Our music program at Armstrong High School this year had 5 students named All-State, including one student who received what's really tantamount to national recognition by being named to the All-Eastern Mixed Choir. That kind of achievement, I mean, to me, that speaks volumes about the students we have, how hard they work, how hard our teachers work, how good our programs are. And not just at the high school, at the elementary level, because that just doesn't start in 7th grade. And I think the programs are run extremely well in both buildings at all levels. Before I call the students forward, I just want to read what's inscribed on each plaque. It has the student's name. It says Music Award in recognition of outstanding performance and contributions to the programs at Armstrong Junior Senior High School Music Program. All right, with that said, first I'd like to call forward junior Alexander Sidora. Alex was selected to the Pennsylvania Music Educators Association All-State Concert Band for trombone. Next, we have senior Donovan Jack. Donovan was selected to the PMEA All-State Wind Ensemble for clarinet. Next, junior Morgan Shellhammer. Morgan was selected to participate in the PMEA All-State Mixed Chorus. Senior Megan McClafferty. Megan was selected to participate in the PMEA All-State Mixed Chorus as well. Finally, I'd like to call forward junior Isabel Valasek. Isabel was selected for PMEA All-State Mixed Chorus and the All-Eastern Mixed Choir. Because the schedules conflicted, I think she elected to participate in the higher honor, which was the All-Eastern Mixed Choir. That ensemble, for those of you that don't know, is comprised of all-state students from 11 states in the eastern part of the country. That level of competition would be among the highest in the nation for such an honor. Isabel is the first student at AHS to achieve that goal. Isabel? Just a final thank you to our teachers. I think they do a wonderful job, to our kids and to our parents, and I think also to our communities. I mean, these are the kinds of programs that don't thrive and benefit without significant community support. So, thank you.
Thank you. I'd also like to thank you. You know, you make the district proud for your accomplishments and your achievements. And one thing that isn't discussed, and you cannot overstate enough, is your influence on the younger generation, too. You have kids coming up through the district seeing what you're able to achieve, and I think it's great because you'll influence them and cause them to aspire to be like you, so thank you very much. Any other reports?
That's all we have for this evening.
Do we have any public comments on any of the agenda items at this point? Okay, hearing none, we're going to present the regular monthly agenda that will be presented on Monday. So we're going to start with the minutes. So we're looking for consensus to add the minutes for the open caucus session for April 4th, the regular meeting for April 8th, and the special non-voting meeting of April 25th. Do I have consensus to add those 3 items to the agenda?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. Bills. We have 4 items under bills. We have the food service fund for April, the capital projects fund in April, athletic fund in March, and the presentation of bills for payment for April. Do I have consensus to add those 4 items to the agenda on Monday?
Yes.
Yes.
Education. We'll have a number of items. Does the administration want to highlight any of the 7 items listed here?
I think Ed 4, we
Good.
have to
Ed 4 is the elementary science adoption for K to 5. We have the materials on display. A group of teachers in grades K to 5 spent the year examining various science materials, and they unanimously voted to adopt the Harcourt Houghton Mifflin fusion program. So we're asking the board for approval for that piece. The other 2 that I have, basically, I have Ed 3, which is authorization for you to give me permission to apply for federal funds for Title I, Title II, and Title IV.
Okay. Ed 1 and Ed 2 are, Ed 1 is student transfer request, Ed 2 is a student transfer request for kindergarten. Cheryl covered Ed 3 and Ed 4. Ed 5 is the approval of secondary science adoption.
Yeah, I would like to speak to that.
Yes, okay.
We went through the process, and actually, as you know from last year, piloted a digital textbook. That particular textbook was selected by grade 6, as you could see from the back up in the quote. We were also going with the HMH Fusion series in grades 7 through 12. I do need to update you, and we will have an updated quote in your packets tomorrow. Even up to this point, because they let us use some of the resources, I'm negotiating with them a little bit further to acquire some additional resources. I don't believe that would exceed $20,000 onto the HMH quote. Then the total cost for grades 6 and 12 would be somewhere just shy of $210,000.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else under Ed to report?
Ed 6 is the annual agreement with Delphi for seats for alternative education program.
Any questions from board members on any of those items for under education? Do I have consensus to add Ed 1 through Ed 7 on Monday?
Yes.
Yes.
Business, a number of items. I'll let you.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, business ones are monthly budget transfer report. It's typical, we do it each month. Business 2, interscholastic accident policy for the upcoming school year. Total cost $13,850. It does include volunteer coaches for the upcoming year. Did not include that in the past. It's something that's standard, covers our athletes and our volunteer coaches. Business 3, voluntary student accident insurance. This is something that parents can purchase for their students, and it is voluntary. It is just a supplement their own insurance or insurance they may not have, but that's totally on the parents to purchase that. Business 4, election of treasurer, just naming me treasurer for the upcoming 1920 school year. Business 5 is purchase of projectors, 50 projectors to replace aging ones in the elementary schools. This is something we started this year, the current year, and this expenditure is for next year's budget, and it's under CoStar pricing. Business 6, purchase of computers, 50 computers out of West Shamokin. Again, CoStar pricing, replacing aging ones, and it is included in next year's budget, $42,000. Business 8 is the Aaron 28 Transportation Service Consortium Agreement. We are part of a transportation consortium with other schools through Aaron for our special need runs, and that lasts through 22-23 school year. Business 8 is the Lenape Vote Tech school budget. Our district share is $5.8 million. I think that has been presented to you in the past. You've also had the opportunity to see that. And lastly, the 1920 preliminary budget for our school district, just shy of $101,500,000. We had a budget meeting on April 25th. There has been a little bit of changes since then, about $250,000 of additional expenses. But we did have revenue to offset that. We're still about $1.5 million difference between expenses and revenues, and we plan to use fund balance to balance that out. No tax increase still. This adopts preliminary budget, sits for 30 days for public inspection. We still can be making changes to it. We'll look for final adoption at our June voting meeting.
Thank you.
That's all the business items.
Any questions from board members on any of those items?
And again, if there's any questions, I know some board members have reached out to me concerning the budget. I'm more than happy to answer them.
Thanks.
We're buying computers for the secondary math, or secondary science
Yes,
also. There's also under co-studies.
yes,
Yes.
Okay.
from GovConnect.
Did we discuss Business 7?
I did talk about it, yeah. Just said it's our transportation agreement for special needs students with other schools.
Okay, well, I have Business 7, the purchase of the access control system.
Oh, I don't have that one in front of me. Did it check? Oh, I'm looking at the one I printed out the other day. Yes, we can discuss that. That is monies that we received through the Act 44 security grant. We did apply originally for $25,000. The first wave, all school districts got that. It was not a competitive grant. Then the second round of funding was competitive. We had initial request around $500,000, but when we found out that it was going to be all or nothing, that they were going to award to schools, we decided to reduce it, and we went with access control at Dayton and West Shamokin. That is using badges to get in a card. This will be universal now throughout the district. We'll have the same system pretty much district-wide. And we were awarded $86,000 second round. And I think there was 200-some school districts that were awarded out of the 500-plus that applied. We're one of them that did. 600-plus, because I guess the other agencies applied also.
Yeah, the award email from the state is included in your information packet.
Right, now, and it says on that award, do not immediately begin expending the funds. Is that what?
What's that?
It says, do not immediately begin expending funds related to your Part B award.
Well, again, we're getting approval for it. That's what we're
just
applying
getting
for.
approval.
Once
Okay.
we're allowed to start spending, we'll spend
Okay, is there a time frame to use these funds?
as soon as possible. Their logistics have not come out for the grant yet, when you have to spend them by.
Okay.
There's some discrepancy about whether they're going to let you carry it over since we just got awarded now and the end of the school year is coming up. So that things at the state level have not provided clarity in regards to the requirements expected from the grant.
Okay, now does this grant work in with the possible security with the program we have at Dayton Elementary? These grants?
No, they weren't wrote up as part of the revenue stream to pay for what we plan to do with the HVAC system, the security entrance, and
Okay, so this is in additional to the
That's correct.
proposed?
Yes.
What might or might not happen in Dayton?
Our original $500,000 request included the secure vestibule at Dayton.
Okay,
We chose to take that out because it was an all or nothing funding. And we felt that we weren't going to get the whole $500,000, so we chose to take that portion out and go for something that was more immediate needed done, which was the access control of the cards. And we were granted the $86,000.
okay.
we've
But that-
done some research, and those districts who chose not to redo their application and submit the same one twice without reducing what you were asking for, got denied.
That type of work, from our understanding, is eligible. And if this money, which there is money in the upcoming governor's budget, and there will be this annual process, we'll look to do it possibly next year, in the next round of funds.
Any other questions? Consensus to add business 1 through business 10 to the agenda.
Yes. Yep.
One thing under student transportation services, the approval of bus drivers for 2018-19. Do I have consensus to add that to the agenda?
Yes.
Policy, 2 items under policy.
Policy 204 is attendance, and that policy was substantially rewritten in 2017 because of changes in the truancy laws in Pennsylvania. These 2 changes that are in the policy being proposed now on page 8 and 9 concern non-student school code required notices that we will do in addition to the statutory required notices. My understanding is administration wants to try to tighten up absences from school. So if a student receives 5 days of absence, even if they are excused as well as unexcused, that combination, there's going to be a notice sent home to the parents. If they hit 10 days of combination of excused or unexcused, we're going to be sending an additional notice out, and Director of Child Accounting will get involved at that point as well. Did I cover it for you guys? Any questions on that? And again, these are the non-statutory required notices, so these are in addition to what we're required to do by law. Student rental facilities, we're allowing some political use of our buildings, and by that we mean school facilities will be allowed to be used by our political clubs, if we have any now or in the future, for their regular meetings. And school facilities can also be used for debates between or among candidates running for elective office. It is not for a political rally, it is for debates. The other change is that, again, if anybody wants to use our facilities for community, social, or civic or recreational purposes, we're making clear that they have to be a bona fide resident of the school district, or if they're representing an organization, that that community group or its local chapter actually have a bona fide location within the territorial limits of the school district. Meaning our facilities are not going to be used for outside groups who don't reside or they may operate in our district, but if they don't have bona fide locations in our district, they're going to have to go somewhere else.
Any questions? Do I have a consensus to add the items to the agenda on Monday?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, back over to the open caucus session agenda. Anybody have anything under other from board members? Administration, do you have anything under other?
We do not.
Okay, I'll look for a motion and a second to adjourn.
Motion.
Mr. Burdell, seconded by Dr. Lobby. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.